Hey, my name is Rose. This is a big moment in my life. I guess my first video. So I would like to say, I guess I'm a creative person, or at least someone that strives to be. I'm really bad at thinking of original ideas, but here are a few examples of somehow things that I've made. There you go.
As a reflection.
Are you gonna take us to the boat?
Ooh, this gun looks pretty cool.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Aw, you should've.
Now, with all that said, I have a problem. Yes, indeed a problem. You may think, Rose, you have a lot of motivation. You seem to be so imaginative for having come up with these cool ideas. But no. I'm only productive when there's a time limit and my anxiety's going out of control. Thank you, Inside Out 2, for perfectly representing my life. I've seen it last week, and I might have cried a little bit, as Pixar movies tend to do. But besides that, now my problem is that I want to make more projects, naturally. But how can I trick my brain to giving me some sort of time limit or motivation to be creative? Well, here it is. Let's try to make it fun and interesting. With the added pressure of having an audience, or lack thereof, and crippling fear, disappointing people, and maybe harassed online through deep dark depths of the internet where you constantly get judged. What was I saying? Oh yeah, motivation. So, here's my idea. I have loads of projects in mind, but I never have enough motivation to start any of them because they just kind of pile over each other and it just becomes overwhelming and I just end up watching Instagram Reels in bed all day. So, I will make fun videos of each of these projects and upload them onto here when I find enough interesting content to talk about. Yeah, how does that sound? So what are these projects exactly? Well, I won't quite tell you because I still have the element of surprise and mystery, but let's start here. One thing I've always wanted to do ever since my last year of university, about 4 or 5 years ago, is to make my own game from scratch. Now, I know you're gonna say, this is gonna take a while, but with the right motivation, idea, and patience, I think I could do it. And if people want to follow me on this journey, you're welcome to join. And that also means perhaps that you should subscribe, but you know, do you. So what's this game then, you may ask? Well, hold on, I'm starving. Let me order some food. What do I want to order? Maybe some like banh mi or something? Hope it gets here quick because if not, I'm gonna give a 1-star review to the delivery person because I am starving. Sorry about that. So I'm thinking of making something that has a cute aesthetic. I want to make a cute game. I'm thinking like Link's Awakening. I think that game's so cute. And I also want a game that has a similar gameplay as Overcooked. I really like fun games that you can play with your friends, and it's stressful and chaotic, and there's a time limit. So I got to thinking, what is a chaotic and stressful experience that you'd have in real life? My mind immediately went to this.
Black Friday frenzy.
Black Friday. From Black Friday to Small Business Saturday to Cyber Monday, U.S. retailers are desperate for business.
So the theming of the game will be that you have a list of items you have to buy at the store. The theming of the game will be that you have a list of items that you have to buy at the store within a limited amount of time. The stores will have hazards and other shoppers you have to avoid as best you can. I also like the idea of getting lost in these giant mega stores, and I think this can play into the gameplay. But I think this will require experimentation. I'll tell you why. I like how games like Overcooked and even Bomberman have the entire map in the scene. I also think it would be really fun to experience this game with a multiplayer mode, to compete with your friends to get items faster than one another. But I only think this will be enjoyable if we could actually see each other in the game. That remains to be seen though. Obviously, experimentation is needed. So where do I start? Well, my fellow followers, luckily I have already made this game. Well, a prototype from 5 years ago when I was in university for a grade. But the game was fun, and I got an A, so I have some groundwork, right? So, without further ado, let's go right into the game. So as you can see, there's a menu, and there's levels, as you can see. So this is the game. You're a little guy, and you're running around, and you have to grab items on the shelves in the store. On the right, you can see the list of items that you have to get. At the top, you have coupons. There is a thief that is running after me, and he stole my items, unfortunately. There's characters that are blocking your path, and there's a cashier, so that's where you would go and pay out the things that you need to buy. So, additionally from the thief that you just saw, there are other enemies, like the scooter guy. There's also the sampler person that will stop you and start a really long discussion that you can't escape from. There is also the Black Friday or Supercell crowd that will trample you and block your path. And finally, there's also the trolley person that will just create a huge wall that will block your path and will trample you if you're getting away. When the time's up, there's gonna be a score that will be given to you depending on the items that you've gotten. If you got all the items that you needed on the list, then you'll have a higher score, obviously, but you'll have some bonuses if you got some extra things. So that's good and all, but while playing the game a lot, I've noticed a couple of problems with it, which I want to address, and these are what they are. The first one is the placement of the list of items that you have to get. You can see them on the right here. They're kind of small and hard to look at, and there are way too many to make any sense out of it. So far I don't really have any idea of how to improve it, but that will begin my process of game design. The second problem is the coupons here at the top. So how they work is basically, if you buy the items that are indicated, you'll get the power-up that is indicated here. So here are a few examples of things that you could do. So there's a boost, and there's a teleportation, as you can see here. There is a fast cash out thing, and a few others that I don't really remember because it's been a while, but you get the gist of it. The problem is that while I was playing this game, and as other people have been playing this game, no one really uses these power-ups that much. So I don't know if they're that useful for the gameplay. Or I would like to implement them maybe, but it needs to be incorporated a little better. And the last thing that I would like to improve on is probably the whole layout of the levels themselves. I think they might be too big and a little too empty to my satisfaction, so I'd like to compress it into something a little bit more playable and arcade-like. So now that I have the gameplay more or less figured out, with a few hitches and improvements I want to do, I need to do the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I need to make a story mode. So, I don't read. I never really excelled in story writing per se. What to do? What to do? Guess the only thing I have to do is get to it, right? Let's go do the thing!
Jeez, how long did I wait? Like 45 minutes or something? What the heck? got my spring rolls. That's it. I'm giving 1-star review. Alright, no more distractions. Let's do this.
I'll make a game where you play the role of a delivery person trying to make ends meet by delivering as fast as possible, and your entire life savings and worth depends on how well you've been rated on the apps in a society driven by big corporation laziness, ungratefulness, and the privilege of receiving goods right at your doorstep. Oh, I feel a bit bad now. Anyways, let's make our main protagonist. In the prototype, one issue that we encountered was that the shopping cart was always in front of the player, making it hard to navigate accurately because of weird odd shape. We need to take all this and compact it into one more controllable player. Let's inspire ourselves from these like little robots, delivery guys that you see in these videos. I want a cool design too, and somehow keep the iconic shopping cart. Alright, we're just gonna take a robot, a delivery guy, and the shopping cart and combine, and we get... Perfect. With that, perhaps the big baddie of this game is the silly owner of these big stores built off of inherent need to consume. Yay, capitalism! Our little robot here will have to go around town taking orders and entering stores to retrieve those items as fast as possible. If they don't succeed, well, nothing bad will happen to them because they don't really need money, they're robots. The only real threat would be their total obliteration and destruction if they don't get high enough reviews. That's all. We just have to slowly get the other robots to help us take them down by giving us hidden pieces in each level to give ourselves upgrades, to eventually gather all our friends, build a robot army of delivery robots, take down the evil owners of these companies that are controlling our society, and finally take over the world to implement our obviously better idea of how to run things and create a utopia. A robot utopia. That sounds about right. There's a story in there. Alright, well, that's my plan. Obviously I will most likely iterate on elements of the game and maybe the story. I don't know. But I think I have enough grounds to start working on this. Now, I hope you found my idea fun and would like to follow me on this journey to making this game. It would mean a lot to me if you do, so that I can make my project enjoyable for everyone, and perhaps even educational. I also want to show that even if you're experiencing some imposter syndrome or overwhelm about projects you want to do, like I do all the time, that you can look to people like me online that are on the same boat. Trust me, we're all in this together. Oh, and also, if you have some cool ideas for this game, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear them. Bye-bye.